G'day campers, Justin the Wayward Aussie. I'm standing in front of the new Kabari Pro tent that we've just received, the final sample. We're stoked with this thing, it's ready to go. Let me point out a few things that make it a little bit different with what we've done on the outside, on the side, then we're gonna pop it up, we're gonna have a look on the inside. So the first thing we're gonna make a note of is that this is a fully welded shell, top and bottom. It's aluminum, top and bottom. It's not extrusion, it's not put together with plastic joints. This is actually fully aluminum top and bottom. It has a rack that's riveted through the top, and it's got some roof rack plates that slide front to back, so you can adjust for solar panels or mounting storage boxes or any of that fun stuff. So as you walk down the side, there's a few things you're going to see here. First part is the addition of all these extra nuts and bolts. And if you're wondering what they're for, you can adjust the brackets. So this part is a bracket for an awning bracket, so you can attach the awning directly to the tent body itself. Addition of these extra spots means that you can move that to wherever it wants to go. If you want to mount your ladder on the side, simply unbolt the ladder brackets from the end and move them to the side that's applicable for you. So inside there is a threaded nutsert ready for you to just bolt your accessories on. You may also notice that the brackets for the spring rods or the window poles are a little bit taller than normal. Normally they'd actually attach straight into the tent body itself. For this tent, we've actually made that so you can attach your awning there. Awning's going to swing around and it's not going to get in the way of those spring rods, so everything's going to function properly. So with the new Kabari Pro, we've tried to think of everything. So 23Zero likes to say that they're made better. This is how we're made better. We try and think of all those little things that you might at home and go, what if, maybe, how about, we've done all those things. What if I want to mount a shower to it? There's room to do that. What if I want to move the brackets? There's room to do that. How do I seal it? It's already done. You just bolt it up. That's the outside of the tent. We're going to have a look at the inside and how the tent functions, goes up, down, and we're going to check the measurements. Whilst we're at the side of the tent, there's a few parts I want to point out. And the first part is this little Velcro patch. Lift that up, and inside there you'll find a port that will allow you to run some coolers, but most heaters have a 60mm, 65mm tube, so about 2.5 inches. That will fit in there. You actually just pull that, scoop it in all around it, and that lets your heater port work and function, so you can have a heater on the side for those of you guys that like to camp in the cooler weather. So that's all Velcroed over the top to make sure she's nice and warm. So that's an ultra fine mesh. That's on the outside, and then you've got that LST coat fabric on the inside. This is all made from Eco 13B fabric, by the way, so recycled fabric. If you can see from there and you look up through the roof, you'll see that big skylight window up the top there. That's a PU window at the top. And again, it's got that black LST coat that covers it up. But if you just want to look out, you want to see the sky, there's a good way to do it right there. So while we're looking inside the tent, up at the top there, you can see that there is a 6-pocket organizer attached to the roof. Some mesh pockets to hold gear, socks, jocks, jackets, phones, keys, wallets, all that stuff. You're like, where do I put this stuff? There is an LED light. The LED light has a 3-position switch on it, so you can have it dimmed or fairly bright. There's 2 pockets at the sides to put your phone, your wallet, your keys, all that other stuff as well. Or you can stash the battery pack to run the LED light. So that's the inside of the Kabari Pro. We think it looks awesome. The LST is fabulous as per always. The self-inflating mat, that's going to allow you to put ladder, sleeping bags. I could almost fit the small child in there. He might complain a little bit. There's 2 sets of spring rods they come with. One that's slightly longer and a little short set. Short set is for the sides, longer one is for the front. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the front one first, because again, there's a couple of different ways you can run this tent or utilize the tent depending on what the weather is doing. So we're in through that little spring rod there. All right, so that's the first way, which is just a short extension, just enough to give you room outside the front. If you want to open it all the way up and let some good airflow, we're going to pop the sides off. I'm going to use these little short guys. And that really opens up that nice feel of ventilation. It's got some screen there to allow some filtered light through. This is just a bomber. Really works nice. You'll notice it's got a protection flap on the front of the front window, but then in the corner is there's a little bit of room there, so if it does get some moisture comes through, if it rains, there's somewhere for it to run away. It's not actually getting caught in that zipper protection. Again, that super fine insect mesh. And like with all 23Zero products that have been made better, we've already looked at the things we see potentially being a problem. Like this little bungee loop here, we've already looked at this to be a potential problem if it rips off. So we've actually put a reinforced stitch over the top of it, a bar tack, and we've seen this in 23Zero tents for years, but we made sure that that's on all those critical joints again. Look at your zipper heads. They've got those easy to grab, anti-rattle zipper heads in there. Likewise with the sides, easy to grab. Same again with that water pouch. We don't want water coming in there, so we've made a hole for it to get away. Bar tack on on the critical joints. So it's all those little details that make 23Zero stuff made better. Okay, for you guys that want power inside the tent comes with a power box, and that's it there. It's a power box and an Anderson plug. On this little power box, it actually has the cables ready to go. There's a spot back in the back corner for you to run this cable through the base of the tent, and that actually screws to the side wall. And then you have a 12-volt cigarette lighter and 2 USB ports, but you need to install this yourself because not everybody wants this as an option inside their tent, because you need to find somewhere to connect that Anderson plug to. So this comes in the box, but this is a part that you need to assemble if you decide that's what you're going to use. So that comes in the tent already in a nice little box ready for you to put together. So on the front of the tent, you're going to see a couple of different things. Again, we spoke about this earlier. We've set this one up right now to have the ladder attached to these 2 brackets. If you want to mount the ladder to the side, left or right, you just undo the 4 bolts, move those to where you want to put it, and there you go. Because it's been designed that in most cases the ladder is going to come off the back, we've put boot bag holders right there on the back, and these are a new boot bag for this tent in particular. They're a little bit different. So the first one you're going to see has got some mesh pouches for sunscreens and shoes or whatever else, and then the other one has a fairly firm clip. So again, if you've got something that's a little bit smelly, it's not going to come out through the top. It's a PVC. And then inside of there is some mesh pockets, and then a big, if you can see that. So if you've got wet shoes especially, that's just going to dribble straight out through the base. So that'll dry off overnight. So it's not going to get caught in there and get all stinky. So that's the boot bags. And again, you can see that bracket. Right now, it seems to work fine, but if you've got a 270 Pro 6-arm that's coming across there at a straight line, that's going to make sure that that sits right there. So how was 23Zero made better? This is one way that 23Zero products are made better. We've thought of all the things: riv nuts, adjustable brackets, movable ladders, movable LED lights, pockets, sunroof, open up the whole wing, adjust the front. Like, we've done all the things you could possibly think of to make this as good as you possibly can. Fully welded shell. Again, I can't reinforce that enough. It's not a extrusion tent which has been put together with bits and pieces. This is actually a fully welded aluminum upper and lower. So if you're hard on your gear, the Kabari Pro, it's a great choice.